Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Whatever Clips. Brian exposes why there's no reason to get married in the West. There really isn't. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that chow. It's chow time.
Here, let me ask you a question. What can I get in a marriage that I can't just get from a long-term monogamous relationship?
Now let me switch over so you guys can see the chesticles.
Benefits and
you mean consequent? You mean negative?
Your taxes
legal.
Are better.
I don't care.
It's tax credit.
The tax benefits are so negligible to me.
It really is.
Do
I
you
don't care.
Do you think your kids will care that you're not married to their mum?
Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, no.
They won't care.
Maybe not. Maybe if you're raising them in that environment.
There's no longer any societal stigma to having kids out of wedlock, and
that
there's
is
no
the problem.
Societal stigma to divorce. So I don't think they would,
all of this shame that we used to have against a lot of these things are completely gone.
As we're loving and caring parents, I can't imagine the kids, if we raise them in, like, for example, a household that doesn't elevate marriage, I don't think they would care, to be honest.
Yeah.
Perhaps, I mean, depending if their influence within their friend group, I mean, I don't think that would play a role, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to disagree with Brian a little bit, because kids nowadays are still growing up with a single mother household, are still getting picked on nowadays for this particular issue. So it may be a case where in the future, you know, you're not being married, other kids are going to make fun of it, make fun of your kid for it. It's possible. I'm just putting it out there.
But so
see, in the spirit of Dragon Ball Z, the Dragon Ball Z theme that Brian's been going with since nobody asked me, but I'll tell you anyway. On the husband scale, my power level's over 9,000. It's insane. I am quite possibly the best which has ever existed on the husband scale. My aforementioned
it's over 9,000
detail orientation around duty to my family is just simply unparalleled. Just so you know.
Second.
Plus my wife said I was a 10, so I'm just regurgitating what she said.
But I'll open the question up to the rest of the table, then we'll move on to something else. But what can I get? Or what can I get in a marriage that I cannot get in a long-term monogamous relationship?
It's not. I don't think it's about you. Like, marriage is not really for men. It's for the children and the mother.
Okay, fine. Let's talk. Sure. What do my children get if I'm married to my partner versus just a long-term monogamous relationship?
Stability, maybe?
It's a long-term. Let's say that relationship goes for life. Let's compare like for like. So
the reason I'm doing this particular episode is because there have some people down there below just like saying that I am pushing for, like, I'm calling men dumb for getting married. Yes, you are dumb getting married in this day and age when 50% divorce rate, and say even if the people that aren't divorced that are still in marriages are probably unhappy, maybe at least 20% of those people, right? So maybe only 30% of the marriages are happy. You have a 70% chance of failure. How is that not a dumb move to make when you're looking at the actual statistics of things, right? So I'm not against marriage in a sense, but I'm against marriage laws in the West. I promote marriage all the time. I tell you guys, get your passports. And if you are going to marry here, you better vet your fucking ass off for many, many years. It's the laws here that's the biggest issue. And that's the biggest issue Brian has and a lot of us have. If the laws were 50-50, even if it was no fault divorce, and the women initiate divorce with no fault, and if she got nothing or very minimal out of it, I think more men would get married. Just by that simple law alone. And then the other side would be all the child custodies. We're worried about losing our kids.
So you're in a marriage and it goes for life, no divorce, everything's good, great, everything's good, compared to me in a long-term relationship, everything's good, we're together for life. What's the difference for the kids.
I think it's easier to escape in a sense. Like I
No,
know you're saying,
no. But
There's
the
no fault
scenario
force.
there's no room for
for what?
like escaping at all. This is like set. Like you know it's going to continue like this. You're saying.
Right.
Okay.
Wait. So what? What? Oh, were you gonna?
You're asking what
She was saying like, oh, you can't escape. People get divorced all the time. That would be technically the escape. So it's not much different than not being married.
your benefit is. Not
What's the benefit for anybody?
okay.
In
I guess religious perspective. Like if you're looking at it from a religious perspective, it's like security.
That's
like,
where I do agree.
you know.
Yeah, right. But secular marriage itself doesn't make sense. And to Brian's point, the response that you had was, well, it seems like it's easier for you to escape. From a position of privilege, right? That's a hell of a thing to say, because right now it's easier for the woman to, quote, escape, and the woman who gets, quote, the benefits, right, of escaping, whereas the man does not in the current marriage market for secularists. So, to your point on religion, sure. But what would actually be the point of a secularist getting married? I don't understand what the point of that would even be.
Genuinely, there is none. Like, I'm coming from this from a religious point of view, but from a secular view, there really isn't a necessary point other than, you just want to be married on a piece of paper, or you want the tax credits. But if you are 100% secular, you're living with your partner, you're sleeping with your partner, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you have kids together, you have dogs together, it's going to be virtually the same as than if you were married.
100%.
From a religious point of view, I think that secularism has tainted what marriage is and the beauty of marriage, because it was intended of, yes, you get to live with your partner when you're married. You get to be intimate with your partner when you're married. You get to do these things together when you're married. But now in society, we're doing that all before marriage, to where it's true. What is the point of marriage? What is the point of commitment and having a marriage and having that unity if you're already doing all the benefits beforehand? So I agree, when there are guys that are like, what is the point of getting married? I feel for that, because truly, within the society that we live in now, what is the point of getting married if you're not holding out or waiting or intentionally doing those things for marriage?
Or building together.
You're asking me?
Or no, just in general. I was just laying it out.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, there's not really much in it for men right now, because men can have anything they want really before marriage.
Yep.
And that's very, very frequent. So.
And I don't want to be like the black pill, like no one should get married, because I do think that marriage is really beautiful. But I do think that women and men both need to raise their standards.
I am super into marriage. My family is all about marriage. Again, very few family members of mine have divorced. There's only my father is the only family member that has a divorce. Again, my father is quite shameful of it too, and the family looks down on him slightly for it, because our family has been solid. The only reason my aunts aren't with their husbands is because their husbands have passed, and ever since their husbands have passed, they have never been with another man. They have been widowed this whole time. Ever since I came to the U.S. in '92, 2 of my aunts were widowed, and they are still widowed to this day. They have never taken up another man or even really entertained other men. I don't know how, it's just society and culture is so different for me. I want to get married. I got married young. I still want to get married now. But understanding laws and understanding everything that's around me now, how things work, I have to question, should I get married? The want is still there, but I have to at least protect myself.
Beautiful about secular marriage.
No, not secular marriage. I think they need to raise their standards to where they're not pursuing something that is a completely secular lifestyle.
Do you even consider secular marriage?
Personally,
yeah. No. Okay.
I would consider it maybe like a civil union. You're married, quote unquote, within, government standards. You live together. You're unified. But no, I view marriage between a man and a woman under the eyes of God.
So basically, the panel's advice to the viewers here, if you're not religious, there's zero reason you should get married.
Well, also, just to piggyback off that further, there never was. There never was a reason to get married other than through religious sanctification? If there was, I would like to know what it was.
And if I can piggyback off of that, not only is there no beneficial reason to get married, there's actually plenty of reasons why you shouldn't get married.
Yeah, plenty.
Outside of a religious context. For secular reasons. There's numerous reasons why there's numerous reasons why a woman should do it, assuming she's not the breadwinner. But there's a lot of reasons from the male perspective why you shouldn't do it. We're talking alimony, we're talking communal property, we're talking half your shit.
Yeah.
Don't do
70%.
it. Don't do it, gentlemen. Don't do it. You can come crying back to me after you get divorced, and we'll talk about it.
Well,
Okay.
now prenups are more popular.
Don't care.
No.
What's the
Literally
point?
don't
Okay,
care.
cool. Prenups. Cool. So then when you want to dispute the prenup because you feel like the prenup was
This I agree with.
unconscionable, you signed an unconscionable contract, then we're each going to be paying, or if I'm the breadwinner, I'm going to be paying for my lawyer, and then I have to pay for your lawyer for us to argue over the legalities and the enforceability of this contract, which we both signed.
Wouldn't the
All right, I'm usually for prenups. I know they work, they can work, but he's 100% correct on that women are going to try to crack it. We have, the guy from the Fast 7, I forgot his name, but, he's going through it right now. His wife is trying to crack that prenup. It's what women try to do. And yeah, he spent over $1 million trying to defend himself against that prenup when it was a solid prenup. I agree. There are some issues with the prenup. Yes, they can be ironclad, but yet it could still cost you a lot of money because women are women.
The ultimate prenup be to just not get married?
That's the ultimate
the
prenup.
ultimate prenup?
That's the ultimate prenup. Okay, I'm going to read these two chats, then we got some more stuff. Wait, did we? No, we read this one, right? Morgan, can I have you read this one?
Yes, a woman's past is very important to a man. If women were open about their past, honest about every aspect of it, and used some common sense, maybe they'd have a better chance of finding good partners and long-lasting relationships. Ever think of that? I agree.
Thoughts for thoughts. Thank you, man. And then we have Daniel W., if you can read this one.
Marriage is a commitment. I have dealt with my children daily when I say, quote, when are mom and you going to live together again? I want mom and you to love one another again. Happy is a state of mind, and it wanes and grows. Women are taught today to give up and classify everything as abuse. No fault divorce.
Yeah, this is a fantastic point that the super chatter Daniel brings up, which is that marriage is not ultimately about happiness.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's about submission to God, and it's about growing a family. That's the point of marriage. It's not about, it's never been about you.
I'm not religious in the Christian standpoint. I am Buddhist. We see it as a union of a family to create families, to give your family the best chance to grow. That's how we've always seen it. Again, people always speak religious to me when it comes to marriage, and I'm not a Christian nor a Catholic, so I know somewhat. I've been to church quite a few times, but I don't view marriage that way. I've never viewed marriage that way. Only religious people seem to view marriage that way. I've always just seen it as a union to get kids and to make the best possible kids you can. I guess that's how my family views it.
You can have whole years, multiple years in a marriage where you're miserable due to the conditions that you're in. It happens. And it's never been the point that you get married because of happiness or you stay married due to happiness. That's just absurd. That's why I don't think secularists can really make it in marriage and why they fail so often. Or the Christians who basically identify as being Christian but who are actually secularists as well, is because they see it as a happiness index rather than as what it's supposed to be, which is a long-term commitment under God that you're not supposed to break, covenant you're not supposed to break. And even if you're miserable, you're supposed to work through that shit together.
Shout out to Brian and Andrew. I 100% agree with Andrew. It's not about happiness. It never was. It was for religious purposes, for a civil union under God, and to take care of kids, to have the best outcome for your child and your offspring. Asians always have kind of seen it as the best outcome for your child and offspring kind of thing. So it's crazy that most people don't see it that way. They only see it as some kind of happiness tool or some kind of band-aid to happiness or something. No, it's just a tool to come together and produce the best, most powerful outcomes for our children. And hopefully they become great members of society to not be a detriment to society. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.